The largest mystery in 2020 for the Twitch community was why Dr. Disrespect got banned. And unfortunately, in the last week, we have received news as to why. At first, I wasn't going to make this video, but in addition to Dr. Disrespect putting out and pretty much admitting to the allegations, I do want to cover what happened in its extent. So if you've been under a rock for the last week and just kind of want a quick what happened, we're going to cover that. Quick 10 seconds before we start the video. If you do end up enjoying this content and want to see more of it, please be sure to give it a like and consider subscribing. It really helps me out. And lastly, but certainly not least, thank you for watching. So to kick things off, we're going to start with a tweet from last week. Now this tweet comes from Cody Connors, a former Twitch employee that was employed at the time of Dr. Disrespect's ban. Although not directly referencing who he is, everybody knows he's talking about Dr. Disrespect. He got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. So this is a pretty crazy allegation to just be throwing out there. At least for some, that's at least got to be either this man's chasing clout and looking for a case, or there may be some validity to it. Now, Dr. Disrespect replies to this tweet, and this is what starts the death spiral that follows into the next few days. Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract. Now, a lot of people really didn't like this reply because it wasn't just outright saying, hey, I didn't sext a minor, that's just not true. He decided to use legalese, probably because of some contract that he had signed or NDA about the case, but using verbiage like no wrongdoing was acknowledged and they paid out the whole contract is not telling or convincing anybody that that's not what happened, whether or not the court recognized it. As you can tell, the public didn't buy it. As you can see, I mean, even the first one, no wrongdoing was acknowledged. This motherfucker did that shit. So people weren't happy with that. And evidently, Dr. Disrespect picked up on that notion and then would go on to make a full-fledged statement himself. Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled, nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Elden Ring Monday. He says he didn't do anything wrong. Again, talking more in legalese, but he recognizes and tries to give reason for that. He says it was probed and settled, nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found. Okay, this is still not saying I wasn't sexting a minor, and I get it, you're not allowed to say certain things, but this was really just a nothing burger and just ended up creating more questions than answers. People were just as upset and confused by this one as when he had responded to Jake. Things aren't lining up, and for him to just try to dismiss it and walk away from it really just added fuel to that. Now, a big issue too at the time is that this wasn't just Jake for the first tweet that we saw coming out and saying this claim. After they put out that tweet saying that this is the reason, other journalists for different companies, for gaming, for Twitch, etc., all started coming out of the woodwork and also saying, hey, this is also what I heard around the time that he was banned, including Nathan Grayson here, who they had one of the big reactions, which without revealing anything else in order to protect sources, I can say that this is not the first time I've heard basically this explanation, nor is it the second or third, which is implying heavily that multiple times it has been brought to their attention. And I'm sure this isn't the only person who reports and was given this information, but maybe because of court, because of legal ramifications of it, they were told not to move forward with that information or post anything publicly. That could very well be it. With these allegations coming out and Dr. Disrespect's inability to just flat out deny and say for certain that he didn't do these things, the pressure was really put on Dr. Disrespect. What I'm going to be showing you now is a clip of him ending stream amidst all of this coming out, as I think it's very useful to show you the next point in the story that happens.
I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little fatigued. Feeling a little fatigued. We came in here, champs. We came in here. High energy. High energy. But I'm telling you, man, I'm just feeling fatigued. Right? But I appreciate you guys showing up. But I am serious when I say I'm feeling a little fatigued. When shit like this happens over the weekend, and it just kind of, it's like how many times can I I don't like, I'm actually tired of being on social media, and I've expressed that over the years, champ. So I just, I've always kind of hinted like it'd be nice to get off and just completely separate, right? I did have a sort of a planned vacation coming up, and I think I might just extend that starting now. Either have to relay this to the Midnight Society, but maybe I step away from there too. Just completely remove myself from the scene. It's what I need to do.
So yeah, you can see in that clip, it looks like he takes a look down at his phone, complete demeanor change, and then over the course of the next 5-10 minutes, he starts to talk about how fatigued he is and how he's probably just going to be stepping away from streaming entirely. And I think that a lot of that sentiment and a lot of this finality that he had coming towards the end, saying he's going to extend his vacation, etc., all of that sentiment was just trying to jump the gun. I think he probably received a heads up letting him know that Midnight Society was terminating their relationship with him. Around the exact same time that he was coming to a close on stream, it came out that Midnight Society put out a tweet. On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. I don't know how to pronounce his name. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved, and in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed along with our community of players. The assumption many people have is that the doc had a little bit of a heads up in regard to what was going to happen, and he tried to get ahead of the ball, and he didn't. They came out with it right after, and they dropped the news. All of this happening, he gets dropped from this. The intensity of the public eye and the anger and confusion and a bit of frustration about the whole event is coming to a boil. And finally, Dr. Disrespect puts out the statement. Keep in mind, this has been edited numerous times, but I do believe the essence and truth of why people are upset is still here. It's a large statement, but this is the main point. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. I don't think that there's an excuse at 35 years old to justify talking to a minor like this. I think the conversations meant nothing excuse has been tried and attempted multiple times by special guests on Chris Hansen's TV show, but I don't think they stand up to scrutiny. There's a difference between making sexual jokes towards your boys versus somebody half your age. If more comes out, the information and the messages get leaked and we're able to comb through that and maybe have some more of a discussion there, great. But as it stands right now, with Dr. Disrespect just fully admitting to what happened, I've lost all respect for the guy, no pun intended. I didn't really have much to begin with. I didn't super know him, just other than he's a phenomenal content creator, but potentially exploiting minors while you are a husband and have children is something that personally for me can't really justify it. I think anybody can respect his ability to create content and work through his characters, Dr. Disrespect, but none of that means anything if you're a predator. That's I mean, plain and simple. TLDR to save my ass in case this video were to blow up. These are all in reference to the claim that he said today. I am in no way or shape or form legally accusing him of being a child predator. I am merely using the words that he wrote and put out in a public statement. My interpretation of it is he was having sexual conversations with a child, and that's just not okay. How lucky are we that in the same year that Kendrick Lamar puts out multiple absolutely disgustingly phenomenal tracks about a pedophile, we get another one that we can use as a reference point. It's fantastic. Thank you, Kendrick. I hope that if you needed it, you found this video informative, and well, I'll catch you next Tuesday. Check out streams. Bye-bye. See you.